If you are a liberal, your entire worldview about the Biden presidency is about to be shattered by someone you'd never expect. And if you're a conservative, especially an America First conservative, your worldview will remain pretty much intact because you saw right through the entire Washington establishment's cover-up lies about Joe Biden, his health, and his cognitive abilities from day one. In this video, a Washington Post lifer finally peels off the groupthink mask and accuses Jill Biden of something so jaw-dropping it's got the liberal elite clutching their soy lattes and muttering "nope" into their NPR tote bags. And if you stick with me through this video, you'll find out that this bombshell revelation isn't really about truth-telling at all. It's about something far more calculated and sinister. This story exposes not just the First Lady's alleged role in what's being called elder abuse, but reveals the manipulative game the mainstream media has been playing with your trust all along. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Look, if you like our videos and you haven't already, become a subscriber to the channel. Hit the notification bell and smack the like button because it helps us get our message out to more people. All right, so it finally happened. Someone in the liberal media broke ranks and said what everyone else has been whispering behind closed doors. Veteran Washington Post journalist Sally Quinn just dropped a bombshell accusing former First Lady Jill Biden of something you won't believe: elder abuse. Now, before you think this is just another political hit job, let me tell you why this matters, because what Quinn is really doing here isn't brave journalism. It's something much more calculated. So why is Quinn making this accusation? Well, according to her, Jill Biden has been the driving force behind Joe Biden's reelection bid, despite all the obvious signs that the man probably shouldn't be operating a microwave, let alone leading the free world. Oh, and there's also that whole prostate cancer diagnosis, one that many people say was known for a long time before it was ever acknowledged publicly. I mean, it's stage 4 at this point. So here's a video clip of Quinn, in her own words, letting the proverbial cat out of the bag, and not just about Jill Biden's insatiable desire to remain as FLOTUS, but accusing the people around her husband and unwittingly including the media of protecting Joe Biden from the American people all along. Give it a watch.
Mention Gate, and people were distraught that he was running again. But I don't.
Did you hear that? She's saying that people in the establishment were distraught that he was running again because of dementia gate.
I don't know any reporter who didn't write something they knew about the president's condition. I mean, I don't think anybody would have done that. But I think they wrote what they knew.
Yeah. I mean, the Wall Street Journal did probably the most comprehensive reporting on it. When they did the piece about how much the people around Biden were really kind of like, I guess you could say they were modifying his schedule. Did
you hear that? She said protecting him. She knew that he was being protected because they knew all along that there was something wrong with him.
Modifying his life, you know, to make it work so that he could be both president and be in the condition that he was in. And in
other words, they all helped the lie to the American people and to the world. I mean, think about that lie, guys. The president had cognitive decline all 4 years, and it was getting worse and worse. They knew about it all along, but because Jill wanted to remain FLOTUS, and because the progressives, who we don't know who they are yet, were behind him pulling the strings and getting everything done that they wanted through AutoPen, right? Think about this. If they knew, then guess what? Foreign agents knew. And we are damn lucky that they didn't try to infiltrate us or didn't try to declare war because we had a commander-in-chief who wasn't all there.
I often wonder if someone like your late husband would have said in the paper in an editorial, like, if he's not, you know, fit enough to run, should he be fit enough to still be president?
Well, honestly, I blame Jill Biden for this. Jill Biden is his wife. And if Jill Biden had stood up and had gone to him and said, Joe, you can't do it. And if you do, you're on your own. I'm out. He wouldn't have run because he couldn't have done it without her support. And, she clearly was in favor of his running. And I just think it was a terrible disservice to the country.
Yeah. You wrote that letter to Jill.
Yeah, I did.
Around the time of the debate.
Well, I felt sorry for Joe Biden because I didn't think she was protecting him. She wasn't protecting him from himself. And after that hideous debate, right after the debate, they're in the spin room and she got his hand up and they're victory, we won, it was great. And the next day he's off in North Carolina and making a victory speech. I thought, what were they watching?
Yeah.
It was.
And how come the Washington Post didn't write about that?
I thought it was just elder abuse, really, what they were doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you used the word dementia earlier in this conversation. Like, you've seen it up close. Is that what you think that was? I mean,
well, it looks like the beginning of dementia to me. My husband had dementia. He was diagnosed 8 years before he died. And it didn't really get severe until the last 2 years of his life. But it was clear that, he would, I would see him, he'd be making a speech and he'd forget where he was. And he would.
So she obviously knew that Joe was suffering from the same symptoms as her late husband.
Stumble, and I finally just said, no more speeches. I told everybody in his office, no more speeches, no more public appearances. That's not happening.
That's really something that you would hope that Jill would have done for Joe, right? Now, here's the part that I find very interesting. And frankly, it's what made me a little suspicious. She said the establishment Democrats were horrified by Jill Biden's actions. But she didn't say it until now, right? Now, she said that Jill did a terrible disservice to the country. Now, don't get me wrong. Sally Quinn is absolutely right in everything she said concerning Joe and Joe Biden. But there is a piece of this story that it seems like she's either leaving it out or she's so deep in the Washington machine, she doesn't even realize she's part of it. Quinn said she was stunned by how fast Joe Biden seemed to leap back into campaign mode after Joe's disastrous June debate, a debate that left pretty much everyone wondering if this was real life or some kind of glitch in the matrix. And instead of hitting pause, Jill kept pushing the campaign forward. Quinn's take was elder abuse. Now, guys, isn't that what the conservatives were calling it from the very beginning? Didn't we say that the way that Joe was being handled was elder abuse? And yet the very people that Quinn is defending here called the rest of us conspiracy theorists and MAGA extremists. And this isn't some random internet hot take. This is coming from Sally Quinn, whose late husband, former WaPo editor Ben Bradley, had dementia until he passed away in 2014. She said Biden's wandering off and sudden outbursts reminded her all too well of how Bradley acted in the late stages of his life. But there's something still that doesn't quite add up here. Quinn says she regularly rubs elbows with DC's bureaucratic elite, the crowd that runs everything while pretending not to. And she says the consensus was almost universal. Biden should not be running again. Everybody thought so, she said. So then why didn't Quinn say something before now? Think about that question. If everybody universally said he should not be running, how come they did nothing? Think about this. The same people who lied every single day about Donald Trump didn't say a thing. She just said that Jill Biden did a terrible disservice. They're throwing Jill under the bus when they are just as culpable because they kept their mouths shut. They're supposed to be there to bring truth to the people, regardless of who's in government. And just when you think it couldn't get more outrageous, Quinn went on about Biden's cancer diagnosis. Apparently, she finds it a little too convenient that it wasn't discovered until recently. Isn't that what we, the conservatives, the MAGA people, the America First movement are saying as well? But the same media that she's protecting once again are saying that that's ridiculous. They're actually jumping on the administration. I mean, you had very Jake Tapper come out with a book with a guy from Axios, and they're just blaming the administration. They were all involved in the cover-up. It's hard to believe because you and I both know that we knew about this. We saw that something was wrong a long time before they ever told the American people. The media are supposed to be the brightest people in the room. I mean, just ask them and they'll tell you. So then how is it that you and I knew the entire time that Joe lost his marbles? I mean, he kept falling down all the time. He couldn't get off a stage properly. He couldn't read the teleprompter, and he had to be guided with everything he did. I mean, no wonder the staffers used an auto pen to get everything they ever wanted. Their wish lists completed. On one side of the coin, they knew that he wasn't competent enough to make decisions like that. And on the other side of the coin, they got everything that they wanted policy-wise because they knew that Joe wasn't competent enough to catch them. So there you have it. The liberal elite are finally saying the quiet part out loud. According to Sally Quinn, the blame doesn't just lie with Biden himself, but squarely with the person closest to him, Jill. But I say that the media and the people around Joe are just as guilty. However, Sally Quinn is correct. None of that would have happened. None of it if it weren't for Jill. Now, here's what Quinn won't tell you, and what makes this whole story so much more sinister than it appears. The reason Sally Quinn made this brutally honest revelation isn't because she's some lone truth teller. It's because she is the Washington Post elite, the absolute embodiment of the liberal ruling class in D.C. This isn't rebellion. It's reputation management. Now think about it. The entire fake news media, every last one of them, spent the last 4 years running cover for Joe Biden's obvious cognitive decline. They hosted political struggle sessions for anyone who dared say the emperor had no clothes. And now they get a second bite at the apple with Biden's late-stage prostate cancer diagnosis. The story they never reported on when it mattered is suddenly the hot topic now. So why now? Why Quinn? Let's be clear. This isn't about holding Jill Biden accountable, even though, let's be honest, Quinn's right. She absolutely should be. This is about throwing shade, not just at the First Lady, but at the entire Biden apparatus. So the media can quietly distance themselves from the mess that they helped create. Quinn's not exposing the rot. She's camouflaging her own complicity and the media's. Because the same people who spent 4 years gaslighting the American public, mocking legitimate concerns and pretending Biden was just fine, he was cogent, they are now pretending that they were the victims of a cover-up too. It's not journalism, it's damage control. And frankly, it's insulting. So the next time someone scoffs and calls it a conspiracy theory, just remind them, even the Washington Post is finally admitting what the rest of us have known all along, because now it's safe for them to pretend that they never lied. While Sally Quinn's accusations about Joe Biden are absolutely legitimate and frankly long overdue, don't let the mainstream media fool you into thinking they're suddenly the good guys here. They're not the truth tellers. They're damage controllers. But here's the bright side. Their credibility is crumbling faster than they can rebuild it. And more Americans are waking up to their games every single day. The age of media manipulation is ending, and the age of accountability is just beginning. All right, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
I got saved.